Italians of Reddit, how do you feel about the way other countries are currently handling the pandemic? Italian here with the real question. Why toilet paper? We ran out of flour, yeast and mozzarella. That I can understand, because you eat it. But toilet paper? You don't eat toilet paper? I'm Italian. Living in Milan, Lombardy, North Italy. This COVID-19 has been like a wave. You see a huge wave but it's very far, so you basically don't care. You think by the time it will be here, it will be just a small wave. Only when it gets too near you see a 100 feet wall of water going to hit you. And then it's too late to do anything but you just brace for impact and hope for the best. The first death attributed to COVID-19 has been registered here on February 21st. There's now proof that the coronavirus has reached Italy in January, and probably at the start too. There have been reports of unexpected hospitalizations with pneumonia since late December too. Now you can understand why we reached 700 plus daily deaths. This virus had all the time to spread around with most of the people not even realizing it. As most of Italians, I don't understand why other countries are not handling it better and why they are all underestimating the impact it has on lives. Italian here. I'd say that generally the news report that other countries are following our example by adopting those measures we implemented in the first place, so we are somewhat glad that other countries are doing their job. However, given the situation, we're frustrated when we see that despite those measures people are still going outside and panic buying and the like. We especially feel sorry for the next hit country in Europe, Spain. Stay strong lads. Some people here have started to have anti-EU sentiments after some problems we had with the ECB. And we try to stay positive by thinking that, given that we were one of the first countries to get the disease, we might be among the first to recover and have a head start when it comes to production and exports, and we hope that we have a head start on the economy as a whole. Japan here. Japan for a week or so believed itself almost immune to COVID-19. There were multiple things on Twitter blowing up about how people were saying that because the Japanese were hygienic and washed their hands, wore masks regularly, the virus hadn't spread rapidly. However, a lot of other people believed that they were actually artificially keeping the numbers low because they wanted the Olympics to go ahead. There were reports of a lot of people being turned away for testing. In the last few days Tokyo's numbers have doubled, and are speeding up at an alarming pace. Japan has like no time to react, and today Prime Minister Abe came out saying a lockdown would be bad for the economy, so, we learned nothing. Why did it take so much for you to close down? I was terrified to see stadiums full of people for Champions League. Guys, we have the army that needs to move bodies from Bergamo to other cities because the crematorium can't run fast enough. There is a town that in previous years averaged 35 deaths from January to March. This year they registered 158 deaths. And only 31 of those are officially by COVID. There's shortage of coffins, and of funeral directors, because they're getting sick as well. This is fucking serious. I live close by Bergamo. Everyone believes, as far as I know, that most countries reacted slow and did the same mistakes we did. If everyone would have just taken this seriously, many lives would have been and would be saved in the future. However, governments chose to keep the countries open as long as possible to not have more severe economical repercussions. At this stage most Italians are really focused themselves, except the brief mention of cases in other countries in the mainstream media. Stay home. Stay safe. I'm an Italian that lives in Norway. I have family in Milan. I was following Italian news outlets as this was starting. It was incredibly stressful seeing this gradually ramp up while Norway was doing nothing. There was this strong mentality of this is not our problem. As it begun to spread here, finally Norway went into lockdown 12th of March. I have Norwegian friends that live in England who are experiencing that same fear I initially had of why isn't our government doing anything? There seems to be this constant lag caused by world leaders not truly understanding the magnitude of this, or just not wanting to risk their economy. Edit, the meme "rip to your grandma but I'm different" is now real life. In Italy we decided to do whatever it takes to stop the infection regardless of the economical repercussions, even though we initially underestimated what would have been sufficient to stop it. I can't understand how some countries ever consider that they could do nothing. That would have caused huge amounts of deaths just for almost nothing. I am glad everyone came to reason, but they wasted precious time and people have died because of that. Greek here. Our government had a super fast reaction to the whole situation and forced us to stay home when the deaths in our country were less than 10. 1 week later and less than 30 people have died in our country out of the 10,000 we have. So not all countries reacted late. I'm Brazilian and I'm fucking pissed with what Jair Bolsonaro, current president, said. That MF said that coronavirus is just another flu and that we shall continue our normal lives. I'm so fucking lucky I moved to Canada before this happened, but I'm worried as for my friends and family that are out there partying and not knowing what's creeping behind the corner just waiting to get inside of you. I'm Italian as well. Here's the thing, it's hard to grasp for people the numbers you see, the number of positive cases, and especially the deaths. They are not from the whole country of 60 million, but they are mostly from an area that at the most comprises of 10 million people. Put that in perspective if you can. The reason why our numbers are not ridiculously large, meaning widespread around the country and not just somewhat circumscribed, is because we locked everything down as soon as we got an idea of what was really happening. And yes, we made mistakes, but in many ways we feel we are ground zero for a Western country. As many mentioned, in Europe the methods used by South Korea would be illegal. We thought we'd be leaders and be able to teach a grand lesson, and then we see country after country falling in the this is serious impasse. They said we got out of control because our health system is not good. It is actually pretty great. They said it got out of control because our population is older, sure, but much older than the rest of Europe. They didn't trust our experience. It drives me berserk to see the military trucks hauling away corpses out of Bergamo and people in Florida saying that since they waited 2 months for spring break they are not going to give it up. Nobody is fucking singing out of their balconies in Bergamo. It is insane that the leadership in the US has downplayed this threat so recklessly, even after having all the data in hand. Now we're giving this virus a chance to mutate and be even more aggressive. Fuck you for not listening. I'm proud of my country. I'm a New Zealander and we went into lockdown officially a couple days ago. We only had around 100 cases then and we went straight for level 4 lockdown for a month. There's ads telling everyone what to do, how to do it and why we need to do it. Our leaders have also put a ban of rental companies evicting people for the next 5 months. I fucking love New Zealand. I'm a New Zealander and even our local gangs have quarantined their drug dealers. I mean, if they feel concerned then maybe the rest of the world should take a few notes lol. Sadly it's gonna be a while until my next high.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories.